Well, it's morning for me right now. So we are going to perform the microarray for Grandpa Joe and the other 3 patients. So down below, I have the setup started. So let's show you what we have. So we have our microarray tray. We have our samples. So we have our 4 patients. Grandpa Joe, I believe, is patient 1. And these have the normal control, if it's overly expressed, under expressed, blank, and these are the 4 different genes of interest, right? 5 different genes of interest. And then right here, we have our substances. This is our equilibration buffer. This is our cDNA and then our hybridization buffer. We have our small micropipette and our micropipette tips, and we are going to get started. All right, so the first step is that we have to take 5 microliters of the equilibration buffer and add it to each spot on the microarray. So I'm going to do this. So I just dropped a whole bunch of micropipettes. But yes, we are going to add 5 microliters of the equilibration buffer to each well. So I'm going to do this. So now that we added 5 microliters of the equilibration buffer to each well, we need to let it air dry for about 5 minutes. So I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Next step, we are going to add 5 microliters of our controlled cDNA, and we are going to put it in the top left first part of our sample. So we have our sample, and then we are going to carefully punch in there, release it. Then with the same micropipette tip, we are gonna go up and down, up. I'm gonna mix it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but it works. Then we are going to, with the same micropipette tip, going to take 5 microliters of our mixed sample. And we are going to put it on our patient 1 under our normal control. Then we discard our used tip. Always gotta make it difficult. Put on a brand new tip. Gather 5 microliters of the controlled cDNA. Punch it into our next section. Release that in there. Might have to do some tapping. With the same micropipette tip, we are going to mix it three times. Maybe do another tap. And then again, grab with the same micropipette tip, grab 5 microliters of our sample. Oh, and it's stuck on the top. And we are going to put it in our next section. Oh, let's see if we can grab more of that. And then I'm just gonna continue the same process. All right, I'm going to do the next row, which is patient number 2. Put 5 microliters of our controlled cDNA, put it in each section, our normal, our upregulated, our downregulated, our blank, and then our 5 genes of interest. Mix it up and put 5 microliters of our sample onto a microarray. So I'm going to do the other 3 patients. So here is the completed result so far. Remember, we put 5 microliters of our control cDNA in each sample for each patient, mixed it up, and then put it on our microarray. Now we gotta let it dry. And so to kind of expedite the process, you're going to follow me into the prep room where we are going to put this in our incubator, where it's approximately 37 degrees, and it's going to sit and kind of dry off for about 5 minutes, and I'll see you back.
A few moments later.
All right, welcome back. Let's go get our microarray that's been drying off in the incubator. All right, here it is, all nice and dry. Okay, next step. All right. Okay, so the next step is to do the hybridization process. So we are going to take 5 microliters of our hybridization buffer and put it on every single well that we see on our microarray. So here we go. 5 microliters. And let's begin. All right, let's grab our microarray. So remember, this was right after we put in the hybridization buffer. So if the cDNA matched up to the DNA code that is on each well on our microarray is going to hybridize. If the cDNA does not match up to the DNA on the microarray wells that we have on here, it will not hybridize. So the next step is we're going to turn off the lights, use the UV lamp to kind of go over it to see the vibrant colors so that we can fill in our data table on slide 5 of our workbook. All right, kind of boring, right? Let's turn on our UV light and let's scan this. So if you scan it over it, you can see the results. So cool. So it's kind of, let's get closer. So we can see our pinks are upregulated. And then it looks like our yellow are our normals. Our greens are downregulated. It's hard to see, but you see in 4 in blank, there's nothing really showing. That's technically black. So we have orange, our pinks, our greens are nothing. So here's a really good image of it. Pause.